Hello, everybody. This is Christopher, and Darren is again joining me.
You know it's true.
Yay! And welcome back to a game I haven't played in quite a while. So it's going to be a little bit hard starting over. Well, not starting over, but continuing it. Tales of Berseria, and let's just jump right into this. Actually, I'll let you enjoy the opening thing from it because it is just objectively awesome.
They don't care. They were just mesmerized by that moment of anime side boob.
Well, yeah, that too, but I mean, it's just an awesome opening. I love it. I freaking love it.
You need to put together an anime side boob hour.
I. Hmm. And what would we do during this side hour? We just admire anime boobs?
I don't know. Just wait for Seth MacFarlane to sue us.
Yeah, that's bound to happen. Damn you, Seth MacFarlane!
I never said it was an especially good idea. Just
An idea. Yeah, I actually think there are already. What? I actually do believe there are already YouTube channels out there specifically. What's the word? Dedicated to that genre of video. I mean, I've seen a couple myself, but they were just etchy, try etchy review, I guess would be the term.
Can we just hold on for a second?
Okay.
All right. So the new season of High School DxD has started.
Oh, it has? I did not know
On
that.
Crunchyroll.
On Crunchyroll.
Less legitimate streaming sites.
Oh, like Funimation.
Yeah.
They're not less legitimate though.
So hooray! Partially dressed. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. They're all high school girls. Oh dear lord.
Hey, they're all
Have fun burning in hell, perverts. I'm joking.
I actually love High School DxD. It's one of my favorite anime. Am I bad?
I look at it and just go, God damn it, Japan! You're trying to make criminals of us all. All it takes is just one angry judge to expand the definition of child pornography.
Well,
And then half of the anime out there will get you thrown in prison for life.
I don't view them as children though. They're not
Dude,
technically.
Dance in the Vampire Bun.
Dance in the Vampire Bun was awesome though.
Yeah, but it was very much centralized around a lolly character.
Future Diary was basically centered around a lolly.
I'm sorry, but let's face it, it's problematic. You
Well,
can like it as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it's still girls, but that in most of our states are underage.
Worried about definitions
So it's kind of
and
problematic.
shit. You're worried about definitions and shit, man.
But then again, I had this friend Kai who always had this saying, if there's grass on the field, fuck it.
Okay.
I think he's in prison now.
Yay, scene. To break up that, whatever that conversation was.
So, you've chosen to trust a pirate?
Not for a second.
What, our conversation about the unfortunate implications of
Most
etching
anime? Most anime, yeah.
There's something I should tell you first.
Because that's most anime right there. At least
Yes.
most eki anime. No, Valkyrie Drive Mermaid. 3 words. Valkyrie Drive Mermaid. Every
I
one of
love
the...
to, I love To Love Rue, but no, that shit'll get you 10 to 20.
No, like I said, look up Valkyrie Drive Mermaid once. Just once.
No, I know what it is. I'm just ignoring it.
Why would you go out of
It's like if someone tried to make a hentai version of Soul Eater. No,
Because-
a lesbian version. Lesbian hentai version of Soul Eater.
Because if
th-
you know, if that artist, if the artist who drew that did one of those like profile things for all the characters that a lot of them do,
They did.
most of them would be underage still.
They did. There was a profile version of every single character in the anime. And all of them were...
A
No,
bunch of them were still underage.
there were a couple that were like 21, 20, but most of them were way underage. Most of them now were of age, were 18 and over. But you wouldn't be able to tell it because they look like they're 16 and 15 years
You've
old.
got a plan of attack, I'm sure. Let's hear it.
The opposite of a lot of ecchi anime where they look 15 going on 23.
Yeah.
Wait, what about that?
Like the most grown-up looking one there was actually 16. Whereas one of the younger ones was actually like 18. It's like, what?
There's always that disturbing anime character of the one lolly character that you think is 9 years old, but turns out to be in her late
She's 30.
20s.
She's like in her 30s.
Let's move. This
Yeah, like Aiken.
No.
Like Aiken, where
Don't go
that,
there.
that one
Don't-
girl,
We don't need to have nightmare fuel of that caliber right now.
that one girl who was 90% boob.
I know what you're thinking. That sounds, our loyal audience, loyal viewers. That sounds almost sexy. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It is not. It is like, what the fuck were they thinking?
No, it looks
when
like
they
one of
drew this
those
character.
hideous freaking breast fetish expansion fanfic characters come to life.
Yeah, That's
Except it was
exactly.
done to, like a small girl.
Yeah, and she's like, what?
And you will want to murder the world for it.
Like, what, 3 feet tall, basically?
Just,
It's like I was enjoying this anime up until this point.
You remember the original Total Recall, the face Arnie made as he was dying on the surface of Mars?
Yeah.
That's my reaction to that anime.
I mean, I enjoyed it up until the purple-haired girl. And I was like, what the hell were they thinking when they created this character? Just...
Then again, I liked To Love Rue, so what am I talking about?
Well, I liked, what was it, Vampire something? Rosario 2 Vampire.
Look at all these
But then again, I also
They're
liked
too tangled to cut
Urusei Yatsura,
carrying some flint.
which is very much, very obviously an influence on To Love Rue, or whatever.
No, but we're also demons and Malakine. Get what I'm saying?
Rumiko Takahashi before she was ruined by Inuyasha in America. But it's true.
Oh, there we go. But, just... There are so many ecchi anime out there that deserve to be watched. Just deserve to be watched. And yeah, Rick and Morty is now part of the MLP canon. Rick and Morty is official My Little Pony canon now. Just like every other character that's been in My Little Pony.
Yes, and all of the hardcore Rick and Morty fans are for some reason pissed off about it. All I can think is, why the fuck do you guys care? All it means is that sooner or later, Rick Sanchez is going to show up in the magical world of Equestria and murder a bunch of candy-colored ponies. You think it would mean? You think it would be the My Little Pony fans that would be pissed?
Yeah. Just like, I mean, one thing I loved was when they actually showed the Doctor in every single iteration in My Little Pony.
Oh dear
It's like
God.
every single iteration of the Doctor and every single iteration of his companions has been in My Little Pony in some form or another. The TARDIS even made one appearance. Or two, I don't know by now. He might have made 2 or 3 by now. Last season I saw was season 3.
Well, son number 6.
And the movies. I've seen the movies.
Now you're going to write a disturbing fan fiction.
But now you can cross over Rick and Morty with Doctor Who.
No, you can't.
Yeah, they share a common universe now. They share My Little Pony. So
Why didn't you say something? If Eisen hadn't noticed in time,
No.
he'd be dead.
Oh yeah, Q's been in it too.
Because of one thing, one edict.
Why would you do that?
There will never be time travel in Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, you're right. Damn.
Bound by an exorcist.
Even though it was based loosely on
I thought as much.
a time travel movie.
The boy's will has been sealed away. Malachim have individual
Yes,
personalities.
the irony is obvious.
Humans, but exorcists
I mean,
developed
it
methods to seal
was
those
based on
personalities away, so
Back
they
to the
can use
Future.
Malachim as
I
uncomplaining
mean-
And yet-
tools.
Everyone's
Will
still
he always be
panicking
like this?
that
Can't say.
there's still this sort of
Never seen one
like
escape an
atmosphere of
exorcist
panic
before.
that Rick and Morty has been canceled.
Yeah. I don't see why. Everyone frickin' loves it. I mean,
Well, that and remember how the second season or the third season premiered?
Yeah.
oh,
Lived in this land a long time.
Szechuan
Own
sauce.
folk, just like humans. Only a small portion of
Yes.
humans.
Fucking
those with
Szechuan
small
sauce.
residents,
Well, I mean by the fact that they
were able to
trolled
pursue our
everyone
existence. But the advent changed
by making it an April Fool's
Now
joke.
Malachim can
Oh,
be seen by
yeah.
ordinary people.
Tell them season 3's back. Yay, season 3's showing up. And then
They
next week it came
love
out.
trolling people. They will.
Yeah.
I will not put it past Dan Harmon,
But Malachim
Dan Harmon,
are objects.
you know, legendary super troll Dan Harmon, to just not tell anyone and keep it secret that it's been renewed for season 4 until season 4 starts fucking rolling.
Yeah, like Christmas or some shit. I don't know. Like a random day, it just starts. It just shows up like, what the fuck? Where? It started already? What?
It's like you'll see a dozen things of new episode of Rick and Morty on YouTube and go, what?
Yeah, exactly. Like what? Like it's what? What? Like what? Just like I said, like you said.
And then it'll actually be Rick and Morty,
Fools.
and you'll be like, holy shit! Or
Yeah,
it'll
that
just
was-
be streaming all day on Cartoon Network.
That was my reaction whenever I Ooh, I got a musical flash. That was my reaction
What?
whenever it
What?
What? What? Wait, what?
No, I'm doing the way Doctor Who does it. It's
Oh,
screw
okay.
you.
There we go, right up there. But no, that was my reaction on when I saw it on April Fool's Day. I was like, they can't be serious. Airing it on fucking YouTube for just randomly.
Well, it
Saying-
also replaced everything on Adult Swim, so
They just
for an
They were
entire
live
night,
stream-
so.
no, they were live streaming the entire first 2 seasons, and then I think it was like 8 o'clock. They decided. I mean, they just didn't decide. Rather, they had it on just randomly.
Well, that's when they started showing it on Adult Swim in place of everything else. They just,
Oh, so they just
showed
showed
the first episode of the new season
over and over again.
all night.
That's the same thing they did after 8 o'clock on their YouTube channel. They just started live streaming the newest episode over and over and over again. I watched it like 4 times that night. Seriously, I watched it like 4 times. That's
It's
because
nice that Nathan Fillion got all that exposure, but
that's because a friend. Okay, I watched it by myself once. Then a friend stopped by, and I was like, "Dude, you've got to wait like 10 minutes." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, just wait 10 minutes, then come back in here." And he's like, "All right." And I put it on my TV and everything. And he's like, "Holy shit, Rick and Morty?" I'm like, "Yeah." I sat, watched it with him for a bit. Then we just sat down, chilled, had smoked some weed, and then we
like, yeah, that show is not canceled. Not after Pickle Rick.
not after Mr. Poopy Butthole said that he was ready for season 4.
No, not after Pickle Rick.
You'll do business with us at market price.
But yeah, then that happened again with another friend, and I sat down and watched it with her. And then, yeah, that happens often here. I'll just have random friends come by.
Then Rick Sanchez burns a hole through 3 guys' faces with the modified laser that he made as a pickle. That ran on AA batteries.
Oh yeah,
We'll call.
Yep.
Hold on. Hello?
What else was I supposed to do? Would you rather I devoured him and
I-
swiped all his stuff?
You're more frightening than the Reaper.
No, I'm good.
Turtles was an interesting guy.
It's a big world, kid. A lot of strange folks out there.
So I'm
All right.
discovering.
You probably
Later.
took one look at us and thought the very same thing. A demon. a
Just
warlock,
family
a Reaper.
checking in.
We've got it all.
Ain't that the truth?
okay.
What are turtles anyway? Some sort of turtle men. Yeah, but what are they? They are what they are.
Now.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you know about this, but you know about cats in the Tales of
Just
games,
call
right?
turtles because they wear all those sea turtle shells on their backs.
What
After
about
all,
'em?
Rokuro means six
There's a new
sun.
species
That's
now
what I am.
called turtles,
I was Teresa's
where
second
they're
tethered molecule.
turtle men.
So I was number 2.
Yeah.
That's a title, not a name.
Huh?
So yeah, turtles are new to
Someone just give me
Tales
a
games
name already.
now. They're turtle men.
Name. For me?
Luffy. Luffy. Luffy said. Yeah.
The last Tales game I played was Tales of the Abyss on the 3DS edition.
That's a pretty good game. Then again, like all the Tales games are awesome to me, at least.
Well, some people get put off by the fact that the main character is a bit of a what's the word? Shitbag. Shitbag. That's the word.
What, Luke?
Who? What?
Or what? Wait, which game was Luke in?
I don't know.
Oh, well. What's
It
the
was,
main character?
No, it was Luke. It was yeah.
Luke.
Great. My name's going. Hold on.
That's the teleporty thingy. Yeah, I can't go there.
Where he gets teleported out of his own mansion, and he spends the first half of the game as yeah, Luke. Yeah, because
Luke.
he spends the first half of the game as a whiny little as kind of a whiny little bitch. annoyingly so. But then he goes through character development and becomes, you know, a not aggravating character. It's like, yeah, everyone that played Tales of the Abyss just selectively forgets the first half Luke as he was in the first half of the game.
I honestly have not played that game in so long that I can't remember. So
Because he's this sheltered, spoiled asshole who doesn't know any better. I mean, he tries not to be an asshole. He has that whole "God help him, at least he's trying" thing, but most of the time he's failing.
there's
And
that
then,
whole
you
thing
know,
with the miasma and everything too.
Yeah, then he gets tricked into, you know, genociding an entire city off the face of the earth. And
What land did that coin come
Yeah.
from? I've never seen a coin with a
Still,
goddess
my
on one
favorite
side and a
one
demon
as
on
far
the other.
as worldwide
Strictly
goes,
speaking, that's
I'm
not
talking
the
about,
Reaper
you know,
on the
world
wall.
building and
It's
everything.
an image of the demon
Tales of
king
Eternia, or
house.
also known as Tales of Destiny 2 outside the U.S.
Martel the goddess.
That one,
And Dallas,
just,
the demon
you had
king. The Book of Ragnarok,
not only two
chapters
worlds,
165. The battle
but you also had an
for
airship and a submarine, meaning you could explore every single part of the entire world. And this in a PlayStation 1 title.
But they had some process to harden the metal.
Not to mention the little sphere that sits between the two worlds.
That's a rather rare find then.
Do you like to read books?
Teresa's chamber
Because
was
remember,
full
it's
of them, so I spent a
what's
lot
the
of time
word?
reading.
Damn it.
Ragnarok is a record of
I
battles
can't
from
remember the
age of
word
men.
for
I've
the
read it
type of
several
planet
times
is.
now.
It's a binary system. No, that's
Coins like
the
that are hard to
sun.
come by.
That would be two
Where did
suns.
you get it?
It's a long
a
story.
binary
Never
would
mind then.
just mean,
So, were you
dude,
deciding something with that
whatever.
coin toss?
Just,
No, a binary when talking about star systems means it has
sorry for
two
prying.
suns.
no, it's not just sun.
At least that's what I was told from Star Trek. That's what Star Trek taught me. But no, it's a symbiotic world where the two worlds are pretty much linked to each other inextricably.
Yes, and somehow their gravity isn't tearing
Tearing each other apart.
world apart.
Yeah.
Even though that's how it would work.
Unless one has negative mass and one has positive mass. Then again, that wouldn't work because the human body would propel it against the planet and the negative planet, and that wouldn't work. Never mind. That's if negative mass is possible.
There's no guard. Do we
No,
just go in?
what you should just yell at me is a wizard did it.
A wizard did it.
Wizard did it.
There's a barrier
Wizard did it.
over it.
It's magic.
Change the
It's just
security.
magic.
You weren't kidding, were you?
Well,
But what-
technically, that is
But
what
about
happened.
that episode of Xena where
I'd be
Wizard
lucky
did
if
it.
That's the worst of it.
But no, that was actually specifically what happened. A wizard, well, not a wizard, but it was, I forgot what it was actually, split the one world into two worlds and kept them centered in the little center planet thing to where they're not tearing each other apart.
Okay, so you just don't get the reference.
No, I don't. Sorry.
It was
I suck at this, remember.
it was the episode of The Simpsons where Lucy Lawless guest starred.
Well, see,
And every
there's your
time-
problem.
And she just and her whole thing is like to shut down fans annoying her about continuity issues. An episode she didn't write, she just acted in. It was just a wizard did it.
A wizard did it.
Wizard did it. Yeah, but what about Wizard? Wizard did it.
Wizard did it. There's your problem. I don't watch The Simpsons. I've stopped watching The Simpsons a long time ago.
Wait a minute. How are you flying? Xena can't fly. I'm not
Wizard did
Xena.
it.
I'm Lucy Lawless.
Uh, wow. The last episode I remember is when the white dude thought he was Michael Jackson and saying "Happy Birthday, Lisa." That is the last episode I remember watching fully.
Okay, you're gonna have to catch up at least through season 10.
And forget about it, fire.
And how many seasons is that from where I was? With Happy Birthday, Lisa.
Barrier works. There's no way
Now 7, 8.
to the front. Let's try finding a service entrance.
Meaning I was at what? The third season? I had to have watched more than 3 seasons of The Simpsons.
That was back. That was back before they really cleaned up the animation. So
Yeah, it was.
that is first 3 seasons Simpsons right there. So.
Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
We're finished here.
That's
That
the
was
last
before-
thing
that
I
was before
remember.
Homer turned, don't forget you're here forever to do it for her.
Where am I supposed to go here? It's not. It's like not telling me.
Matt Groening, always great at comedic emotional manipulation.
Wasn't there an episode where the Futurama and Simpsons shared like a universe?
Hey, I'm not gonna go there.
A crossover. That's what I was trying to say. Crossover.
Just because there's a point in The Simpsons where I lost hope and stopped watching.
You sound like I did whenever I stopped watching. I was like, man, fuck this.
Then again, you never got to see the second force The Simpsons owned.
But I remember the crossover
By a
though.
bunch of angry jockeys who lived in a cave underground.
Okay.
Freaks! Freaks!
Oh, so that's where you got that from.
Is that the way in?
Yes.
This one's actually guarded.
We are the jockeys.
Why is
jockeys
most-
are we? We live underground in a fiberglass tree.
Why is all your comedy based on The Simpsons?
Stop.
This-
Those guards
Because The Simpsons were The Simpsons during my formative years were my greatest influence.
Okay, because that sounds like it's your only influence. Disappointed!
Just stop.
You know where I stole that one from. You know where I got that from.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty much
I do.
everyone knows.
But
Everyone.
then I remember what Kevin Sorbo's been doing recently, and I
Oh,
just feel sad.
me too. That just upsets me right there.
If I charged in,
Like the
I might have turned
what
up.
was the movie name? Let There
Thank
Be
you for
Light.
stopping me.
Just
Don't thank me.
he doesn't play an atheist. He plays a mesotheist. There's a
But yes,
difference.
That episode of The Simpsons was also where
In that case,
your horse
I'll be
must
counting on you to
lose,
keep watch.
and if I refuse,
After all,
we'll eat
no
your
matter what
brain.
with us, he knows
My
what's going on.
horse must lose.
She's saying it's all right to talk.
But no, he was playing a mesotheist, not an atheist. An atheist.
understood.
I'm sorry, I don't know of any atheists like that quote unquote hate God because
You have to believe in something
to hate it. Exactly. You have to
Well-
believe in something to hate it. You
To-
can't.
To the brand of Christian that makes those kind of movies.
That's the common.
They don't understand that there are people that don't believe in God.
Yeah, they just think we all hate God for
Well,
something that happened in our lives or something that made us hate God.
Well, it's because they all live in denial of the Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
You know, that one of those really important
In the
lessons
Bible.
that Jesus taught that
Yeah. No. No.
basically said you could be a good and noble person deserving of all of those Christian hospitality and values without actually being a Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's garbage to a certain brand of Christian.
Yeah, like Pat Robertson's or.
You know, the kind of people that made my mom feel ashamed of being Christian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, they never made her feel ashamed of being a Christian. They made her angry for what they tried to do to Christianity.
Yeah. Just, those type of people piss me off. I have some great Christian friends that I love with all my heart, but
Oh, my mom.
those.
Two of my mom's best friends at church were this lovely gay couple who ran the church choir named Mike and Ty. Those
Oh.
guys were kind of awesome.
Oh.
Looks like there are demons inside as well. Don't tell me, Isaac. You're the source of demon blight.
Yet the Old
It's
Testament.
just our bad luck to be
Just-
around when it's spread.
Yeah, my mom was
This
a
is what it
Methodist,
means
by the
to
way,
walk
so.
the real
Okay, New Testament only then. Old Testament, no, nope. There's no such thing as the Old Testament to them.
No, it's not that there's no such thing as
It just doesn't apply
there's
anymore.
there's a New Testament, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah, but to do that, you actually have to ignore what Jesus
The
said.
controls ought to be located.
I come here not to abolish the law,
We'll activate them and
but
then
to
send a signal.
Got it.
I can't remember the exact words right now. But he said, I came here not to abolish the law, but to
But
fuck.
no, they don't ignore it. Methodist Bibles still have the Old Testament in it. It's
Oh, okay.
just,
Well, see, I was
it's
a
just that it's
Baptist.
treated much more you don't treat it as literal.
Yeah. Well, I was a Baptist growing up, so we were frickin' literalists. We were like,
The whole-
you, the entire
the whole
Bible.
point-
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, the whole point of Methodism is, you know,
Style is really-
inclusionism, and
Yeah. Inclusion. Just, you
and
accept
part of it is
everyone.
big that, you know, I mean, part of it is big. Do not forget the reforms that Jesus brought. The whole
Yeah. Yeah, but again, you gotta look back at what Jesus said. He didn't come to get rid of the old law. He came to God damn it, I can't think of the goddamn words.
A fortress with a sea gate that blocks the entire street.
Basically
Well,
enforce them.
Easy what the enemy can build.
But
Until
again, that
recently, I might not have believed it possible.
most of Jesus' most important lessons directly conflict with the Old
Yeah.
Testament.
Blade to fell
Yeah.
demons. They can also
True.
be made a hammer to forge
And
Then there was
again,
a time he got pissed off at a
The
fig tree.
accountings of Jesus in the Bible come from different perspectives from different people.
Yeah, like a lot of different people. Like I was saying, there's this one part where Jesus gets
Agreed.
pissed off at a fig tree. That is
I
the
mean-
funniest shit to point out. He gets pissed off at the fig tree, and he curses the fig tree to not bear fruit anymore.
I mean, let's face it,
You can't make that shit
there
up.
was a picking and choosing of what about Jesus went into the Bible. Council of, you know,
Yet that made it in there.
remember, there are testaments about Jesus that, you know, just portrayed him as straight up becoming God.
Yeah.
Like full on being of energy, kind of, you know, omnipotent.
Then
It
there's
was
what the
not.
then there's what the Japanese believe. Isukiri.
And then there
Isukiri.
were testaments written that, you know, he was just a guy.
Yeah,
This door should lead to the gate.
like the Jews. The
Looks
Jews
like they
believe
got
that
locked
Jesus
up
was
tight.
just another guy. He wasn't
Well-
Messiah. There wasn't nothing special about him. He was just a guy. He was a prophet.
Or-
He was a prophet.
or-
Sorry.
More of that stuff informed
Well,
Islam
forces
going
out.
forward. where
Islam too.
Christ was an important prophet and a major prophet, and that the virgin birth was a thing that happened. But he wasn't the son of God, because that's
just insane.
well, more like God is not the kind of being that can really have a son.
Trying to control the direction of my life.
But aren't we all his children?
My wheel
At
is
least-
mine to hold. If I'm not the one steering
Well, not
the
that he can't have a son,
not
just
truly
that
alive.
that God is.
The one
Well,
steering-
everything's he's creation. So what would?
Indeed.
But again, aren't we all his children? I mean,
I can't remember the logic behind it.
Then you better be ready
Or the
to
specific
accept all that
philosophy
happens
of
to you
thought.
in the line of duty.
Which doesn't really matter because it's all just different people's mythology.
We found out
Oh,
just
shit.
how deep
Sorry to
the
any
devotion
people,
truly
any Muslims
goes.
listening, but I'm an atheist. To me, it's just mythology.
yeah, same here. I'm just an
Take
atheist.
it
And
easy.
again,
There's
all
9
that's
fingers to
mythology to
go.
me.
I mean, it has it. I'm not saying it has no value in the world, or
Oh, it has value.
One
It's,
more
I mean-
question. Which way to the
I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, people with religious things have done bad things, but they've also done good things. And
Yeah. Like Adolf Hitler was a devout Catholic at that. You can't blame all of Catholics for what Hitler did, though.
no,
Just like Mao
well, you
Zedong
can
was.
blame some of the Catholic
It just comes
Church.
naturally.
Yeah, for backing him. That's
We need that.
yeah.
But we also
But that
need to
was the
take out
Catholics of
battleship
the
before it sails against the
1930s,
Von Eltia.
40s. Not
But
the
again,
Catholics of
originally the
today.
Catholics were
Or the
a lot
dogs.
of Catholic
Which will it
priests
be?
and stuff were helping Jewish people escape, but then that wasn't the official stance of the church.
Yeah, it's just all kinds
Technically, backing Adolf Hitler during the Holocaust
You know, you're
wasn't
pretty
an
good with your
official
fists,
stance of the
Tyson.
church.
Not as
It
good
was
as you are
just
with your
of. The
swords.
Pope
Their
met
shadow
with him.
stance.
A lot of your crew
The
with
Pope
swords.
met with him
Do you
and his
really ever use them
archbishops.
yourself?
Met with Adolf
No,
Hitler
not with
personally,
the Reaper's curse, I don't.
and
It likes to
literally
rear its head
stated
at the
that
worst
they
times.
back his
I've
movements.
broken blades just by unsheathing them.
You can't
And
say the
once,
Catholic
just as
Church
I
was not
about to deliver
complicit.
a
No,
finishing
no,
blow,
that's not what I.
my blade
Guys,
Nazis.
separated from
not-
the hilt went flying.
You know what I goddamn mean.
A sword isn't something
Yeah,
I can
not
rely
all
on.
of them,
They
not every
silently
single
approved
branch.
The
I fight
Holocaust.
using
They
only
did
my
not
own body. That's one less
actively
thing that can go
say
wrong.
that it was a good
It's too
thing.
bad you're not a swordsman. I bet we could
I
have
remember
had
the
a hell of
Pope
a fight.
clearly stating that.
I wouldn't need a sword to make it interesting. What do you say?
That he endorsed
Try
it.
your sword against my curse?
His
When?
people,
The
his
right time
other
comes.
people may not
Just
have,
don't whine when I end up winning.
No,
You took the
but the
words
Pope of the
right out your
time
mouth.
was.
when did the Pope say it's
Well,
good
here's where
that
the
he
real show
murdered all
starts.
those
You have a
Jews?
plan, first mate?
The fortress
No,
guards are
no.
all
He
didn't
small
say
ordinary
that.
soldiers. Just a handful
I can't
He
of
remember.
never
soldiers to deal with.
endorsed
They went to
the
the trouble
church.
to build this huge gate. You'd think they'd keep
The
it better
church's
defended.
We
official
don't need an army
Yeah,
of
they're
exorcists to
official.
keep a bunch of
Official
disorganized
stance
pirates
was,
under control.
we were okay with this
As
Hitler
long as they're
guy
fighting ordinary
until that
humans,
Holocaust
the
shit,
Royal Army would suffice.
hoping that
So if
people
you
wouldn't
exorcist
realize
his officers,
they
that's all
kind of
need.
It was built
We're
as a
complicit.
symbol of the
they
empire.
started helping Hitler with that
Victorious is the one
Holocaust
really
shit,
giving the orders.
much to the
army
disagreement
directs
of,
security and defense.
Its
the
members.
Catholic priests and stuff that were helping Jewish people escape
Leave it to
Germany.
The exorcists then. The harder they are, the
Ah,
more
tea is
fun
good.
it'll
And,
be.
you know,
I love
how
tea.
they tried to get them to stop.
I'd rather cut them actually.
Ah, my sinuses. Ah. I know y'all hate me talking about my sinuses, but fuck. When you can't breathe.
No, the shocking one they openly encouraged was the slave trade.
Yeah, yeah. That. You
Hey, for fuck's
had to
sake,
go into the slave
The
trade.
Pope before
thing.
Francis was a Hitler youth.
I think, wasn't it George
Before the
W.
Pope.
Bush's grandfather? Wasn't George W. Bush's grandfather part of the Hitler Youth as well?
I don't know. I take any story about that shit with a grain of salt because
Well, no. He owned companies that did business with the Germans of the time.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Which,
it's become so endemic with, people calling
everybody
people they don't
Nazis.
agree with politically Nazis that
Yeah.
even when it's true, I have a hard time just not dismissing it.
Now, when
Which
your
is
official stance
part of the
is,
problem because it's how guys like Richard Spencer fucking get in through the cracks.
that's what I was about to bring up. Whenever they actually say they are officially on the record as saying they are Nazis, that's where it kind of.
Yeah, that's where I will not go. Like, oh yeah, it's like, oh well, this guy's family member was a Nazi. Okay, first of all, where's your proof? And where's your proof that has anything to do with his kid or whatever?
Yeah.
Because people love to rag on liberal radio talk show host Stephanie Miller, and it's like, yeah, but the rest of her family are those Millers,
Yeah.
those Republican Millers.
Yeah. Well, if you look at today's Republicans, they are kind of going the fascist route. Especially with their Trump worship. Just,
Well, depends on which Republicans you ask, but there are a lot of Republicans that want their party back.
yeah.
I mean, look at freaking,
Mueller.
I was
For
going to
instance.
tape up Penn Jillette.
Well, Penn Jillette really
Well, he's
isn't,
more of a
or he's a
He's more a
libertarian.
pure libertarian, but
Yeah.
not just.
I
not
agree
just
more with
the version of libertarianism that a bunch of idiotic Republicans started claiming as
Yeah.
their own, without
Well, see,
having.
I myself identify as libertarian socialist, which is pretty close to the original Libertarian Party's ideals, because it was originally a left-wing ideal.
Well, when I talk about libertarians, I mean the ones born in the neoconservative movement.
Yeah, the
that gave
neoconservatives.
birth to,
Conservatives.
stuff like them and the and objectivism.
And that Ayn Rand worship.
Ayn Rand. She believed the Native Americans got what they deserved.
Yeah, and
She
thought
literally
slavery was
went
awesome.
on television and said that.
And
It's
she-
it's recorded.
And she loved slavery. I'm not making that up.
Not because she believed that, your skin color made you primarily inferior. It's because she believed that. Well, she didn't love slavery openly, but
No, she did. Quite.
it's not.
It
that
wasn't
she
skin
loved
color.
slavery.
It wasn't
No,
based
no.
on skin color. It was based on.
Well, for
Free
her, it's
labor.
the idea that either your culture is strong or it's weak. And weak cultures deserve to get destroyed or co-opted by the strong.
Yeah, exactly. She believed in
But
the rule
again,
of strong.
she also believed in this she also believed in the conflicting ideas of, personal liberty. So
Yeah,
she would not actually approve of slavery. It's more that she saw that the enslaved should have been better at not letting themselves get enslaved,
yeah.
which is still pretty.
It's still
fucked
pretty
up.
damn bad.
That is not a good thing.
That's
It's
pretty.
like, I don't appreciate slavery, but your dumbasses deserved it. That's her. That's her statement to the
Yeah.
American slavery, and that's why I'm glad she died alone and penniless, betrayed by
And the-
everyone she ever trusted, because
funny
they were
thing-
also what she believed the perfect objectivist would be.
And the funny thing is, she hated concepts like Social Security.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yet she lived on it her entire life. Like her
Oh,
entire freaking life.
Granted, Ayn Rand's views are because, you know, her family got run out of Russia during the communist revolution, but still, it's just
like Paul
holy
Ryan.
shit, lady.
This seems to be the
Just
place.
like Paul Ryan, he
Let's split up and
thinks
look for the
that
key.
Social
We'll search
Security
the other room.
emboldens the weak or something. I don't know.
Well, again, Ayn Rand's excuse is that a lot of her philosophy is formed out of a knee-jerk reaction to a really bad experience.
Yeah.
Found it.
Paul Ryan doesn't have an excuse.
Yeah,
He's just
he
an
doesn't have that
objectively bad
excuse.
person. He's just an objectively bad person.
Ayn Rand was hurt by bad people, and so she knee-jerk, she
Don't get so
reflexively
worked up over a
reject
little thing like
everything
that.
she
It's
saw
proof you're
those
alive.
people as holding as their ideals,
No, I'm talking about the pain.
even when it
Like-
made sense.
Like Ron Paul. I actually agree with
Scared
some of what Ron Paul says. The
Well,
other stuff he says, like
isn't.
taxation and slavery,
Even you?
I call bullshit on that.
No,
taxation
taxation is a social construct or contract.
boys sure are
yeah,
fascinated
taxation
by the
is
weirdest
basically you
things.
saying,
Fascinating?
yes, I am fine with the government taking my money
You like
as long
this,
as I
right?
get to enjoy the roads, the fire department, the police.
I
Even though the police
Like,
are
dude,
pretty
the,
bad right
founding,
now, but
the founding fathers weren't against taxation. They
Yeah,
were
but-
against taxation without
Representation.
representation.
saw one in the
exactly,
book. I got a little curious
exactly. It's
about it,
taxation
and
without
I
representation.
felt
The United States at the
It's
time
the,
were
it's
not
the
being
idea
represented.
of getting a say in what your taxes
I guess
do.
Exactly.
Do you know why
Like I
the
said, at the
needle points
time,
north?
the U.S.
Who
had no
figured out
say
how to
in what
make it
happened in
work?
Parliament. They were
Well-
kind of pissed
If I
that
had one of
they
these,
couldn't tell them,
maybe
you
I
know,
could go on
this is how we
adventures.
want our taxes spent. I mean,
It's exciting.
When you feel that way, you should talk about it. About what you
or I
like
totally
and
missed the
dislike.
point.
If you're happy or
I
scared.
totally missed the point, didn't I?
After all,
I mean, we're
Let's
also
go.
going. We also gloss over that
A
the
lot.
founding fathers,
that's just my opinion, though.
that a lot of the founding
Not
fathers
better.
believing in a lot of this stuff. A lot of the average colonists didn't really give a shit.
You found it?
Yeah, they
Now we can
didn't
get that
really
gate open.
care.
We like to
Really
forget
comes
that
to
to them,
this work.
they were used to the kind of, you know, monarchical rule that makes you not really give a shit who's in charge, just as long as they don't fuck with
What's
you
wrong?
directly.
Are you not feeling well?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
My
so,
compass fell on my head and gave me
George
had the Boston Tea
Washington
Party.
and the founding fathers basically had to trick a
But that
whole
was
bunch of people
Yeah.
into joining.
But at least I'm still alive.
Damn, I never
That's
thought
why
about it
I
that way. I never thought about it that way. Damn.
That's
They-
what Velvet told
They were
me.
It's
actually
part of
pretty
why
smart.
our military was so weak
Well,
during the
don't worry.
beginning
Just
of the
push 'em up back
Revolutionary
down.
War.
And that's also why we needed a second minute at the time.
Undisciplined, they were not wanting to be there.
Don't sweat it.
Like I said, and that's
Stop
why we needed the
fooling around,
Second
you two.
Amendment at that
We have
time
to hurry.
because,
It's also why we needed the French.
yeah,
Once we get back to the
The French
ship,
gave us
just borrow
guns,
some
the
sugar
French
and
gave
rub it
us
on your
military
arm.
training.
It'll make the swelling go down.
The same military training that would turn out guys like Napoleon.
Okay.
yeah,
But I'm not going to defend Napoleon here. I'm just going to point out that as a military guy, as a military tactician, he was pretty badass.
You're awfully fond
Man.
of that, aren't you?
Like people like to
Still,
make
you should keep
fun
it
of the
in your bag
French,
for now.
but
I'll put it in my bag.
Good.
because
That's
they
a nice
lost
bag.
World War
It's
II,
made to
because
last.
they were
It's
not
more,
on
it's silk.
they were they had to surrender to the Nazis during World
It's a
War
fine
II, but
fabric woven from
that's
the threads
because-
of a Dandarantula spider. It's got a delicate sheen. It's soft as a baby's skin. It's light
Oh,
and
let's
stretchable.
face it.
It breathes and it's quite
the real reason the
That's
French
not all. It's most
had to
fantastic
surrender
qualities
during
that
World War
absorbs
II is
impact.
because
My, but you're quite the
You know,
scholar.
the
Knowledge and
line,
experience
because,
help
you know,
sniff
their
out the
big
best
line of
treasure.
defense that
If you
was
go and
supposed to
stuff
keep out the
every single
Germans
scrap of plunder
was
you
heavily
find into your
dependent
ship,
upon
she'll keel over.
Belgium
That does
holding
make
up their
sense.
promise
What
to
I'm
defend
getting
the
at is,
line.
your bag
And,
is the
uh,
And
best
Belgium
place for you to
folded
keep it
faster
compared
than
to store.
Superman on Laundry Day.
Keep that thing safe. We
and
need it.
World War
Alright.
II, when communists were actually a good thing for a time.
Well, Churchill never trusted them. And, well, he was kind of right, because
Yeah, the
Stalin
gulags.
was not at all a socialist. And his brand of communism was a complete betrayal of Marx and
Communism.
Lenin.
Yeah. They authoritarian dickbags. That's all I have to say. That's what you call fascism. No, that's not fascism. Sorry, fascism is a right-wing ideology.
And again, it also
Authoritarian.
goes to show the problems with that form of communism. The idea of it stemming from an authoritarian system, because you have to then create an authoritarian system to keep in control of everything,
Yeah.
while you're supposedly trying to transition a country into democracy. The problem is the people in power then get used to that power and used to using that power. So even if they aren't, completely fucking corrupt assholes, they end up not giving up that power out of the idea of security.
Yeah. Just. That's the problem with authoritarian regimes. They don't give up their power in the end. Because see, in a communist state, well,
The whole idea is that it's like, it's through revolution. You throw down the authoritarians in
Lovely.
charge.
Too bad we'd never be able to
Again,
smash through
you
it.
start up the
Word from
democracy
bad luck,
from
we wouldn't have any
scratch.
luck at all.
I suppose.
We still have to get through here somehow. Let's see if we can find some way to move the rock.
It doesn't work because
yeah, because like you said, they just don't give up their power in the end. Like they're,
yeah, either. And it's not always just because of pure greed or whatever.
it's because they get used to the power, and it's
Yeah, and they
absolute
get
power.
used to functioning and running things under the conditions of that power.
And like the saying goes, power corrupts. Absolute
Yeah.
power corrupts absolutely. It's just
It's like, well, I have to deal with all this bullshit, and you're expecting me to start implementing democracy and risking some idiot that has no idea what he's talking about taking over? How? No, fuck that. So even with the good intentions, the idea is that it just de-incentivizes the ideas of the actual socialist ideals that you're supposed to eventually get to.
Where am I supposed to go? I am lost. Where am I going down there? This way? Nope, that's where I just came from, damn it. Let me see. Okay, no, that way. That way? I think I gotta get. I think I need to go. Oh, that way. Man. Can't stand it when I'm lost. I've already gone this way. Damn it. I am lost. I'm officially lost in this game now. But yeah, more on that though, it's just, I mean... It's...
Sorry, I had to step out of the room suddenly.
I'm lost anyway. In this game, I am lost.
Where was I? Oh yeah. I mean, the point I'm trying to make is even when you remove corruption from the idea of, corruption of, personal human douchebaggery from the picture, there is no real incentive to transfer things over to a democracy from a security standpoint.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no incentive there to do it because I have no clue where I'm supposed to go. Not go there. Don't go there. Try this way. Shit.
It's like 300.
Only there is no giant pit to kick people down.
Well, that and yeah, the Spartans weren't defending Greece because of freedom.
No, they were, yeah. Plus, there wasn't just 300 of them. There were hundreds of thousands of soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
And they weren't all topless, wearing just fucking loincloths and shit. They were in full battle armor.
Though, to be fair, Spartan armor didn't...
Wait, maybe I can go down here somehow. Nope.
A lot of the armor Spartans wore...
It's mostly bronze.
Well, what they had was bronze sheet from bronze platelets sewn into cloth to hide them, so it would look like they were coming into a battle with almost no armor whatsoever.
Yeah.
You better be ready.
But crap.
But yeah, and also they didn't just wield the spears and shields. They had archers and everything else you can think of. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, but the whole idea of the Pass of Thermopylae was to basically...
That was just one battle, too.
Well, yeah, that was one battle, and that's actually addressed in even Frank Miller's thing, because they also talk about marathon and stuff like that. Again, what you have to remember about Frank Miller's, the idea of Frank Miller's thing, is that it's Spartan propaganda told by Spartans to Spartans.
Yeah, yeah.
And all of that freedom and liberty shit from the movie, that wasn't in the original comic.
Oh no, they would kill their own children. I mean, Spartans were terrible people. Oh yeah, we both watched Adam Ruins Everything, so yeah. I forgot about that. For some reason I forgot completely about that. That was on Adam Ruins Everything. Like seriously, that's how fragmented my mind is right now.
But the idea of just these 300 Spartans guarding a specific part of the pass, that was not inaccurate.
Yeah, it wasn't completely...
The military, there was a bigger army standing around specifically to funnel the Persian military into a death trap.
Yeah. That's... Yeah.
Stand aside, Eisen.
That's where neck bottling came from.
You stay back. I'll take
That's where it... That's where that began.
This
Meant bottlenecking, that's what I was trying to say.
But there's still tens of thousands of Greek soldiers you don't see.
Yeah.
Fighting the Persians and making them go into that pass. Where they end up having to face an extreme, one of the most disciplined military factions in the world. Because
But yeah,
part of the reason for their brutal militarism, the brutal way they raise their children and stuff, this lifelong sort of military discipline.
Yeah, there's so much stuff
Where did
wrong
you
with
learn
history,
the
everything
Rangetsu
we know in history.
I studied directly under the Legate Shigure of the Abbey.
Shigure.
Lies. He'd never take on a student. Let me guess. He taught you a few things one time when he was super bored, and then crushed you with them.
But yeah, the Spartans were not bastions of freedom.
No. They were just the opposite of that. Yeah, anyone that doesn't
done,
watch Adam Ruins Everything
Also serves as a good
should watch
signal
Adam
for
Ruins
all
Everything.
Oh no, I'm not even talking about that.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, that's free advertising there from me.
That was about the
Right, look up
saddest
the
practice
concept
I've
of a
ever had,
Spartan honeymoon,
but
and you'll
at
just be
least I
going,
learned
"What
where
the
he
fuck?"
is.
I'll have to look that up later.
Yo,
Come to speak
the
of it.
Abbey's my goal now too. Now I can do what I have to do and repay my
Because
debt at the same
even their
time.
honeymoon is a form of military
doing?
discipline training,
What? Is there a problem?
where they basically
No.
have to sneak into their
A fine companion for the
sneak into the room, and yeah,
And fight their spouse.
Everything's ready. Let's
No.
get our gate on.
simulate the rape.
Between your sword style and that giant blade you shoulder.
Because it's a training
I wonder if you've
exercise
got
for
Rangetsu
doing that
blood.
to
I do.
Grecian city-states.
Have you heard the name Kushiyamada?
They did
hear
love
there's
their
The
raping and
Spartans-
pillaging.
Connection to House Rangetsu.
Yeah, they're a distant relation. A clan of
But the
kitchen
thing about the
makers.
Spartans you have to realize is that when it
Interested
came
in
to
cooking?
fighting
No.
as
I
an
just heard
organized
fine
unit,
blades. Thought one would make a good gift.
all of that
Don't.
insane,
Kushiyamada
brutal
has
training
cursed.
paid off.
Yeah,
The blades themselves
Yeah,
are excellent,
that-
but they give
they
whoever holds
were-
one the urge
yeah.
to strike out at anyone
Only
and
for those
everyone.
that survived it,
I've
but
heard they
still.
used the blood of women
and the
they loved to
Persians
make
were
them
more
their blades,
democratic
but
than the
truth is a
Spartans were.
mystery. The clan died out after they all
Oh,
turned
yeah.
on each other.
Although,
Blades were all supposed to be
painting
melted
the
down in the
Persians
slag.
as
I suppose
the good
that's
guys
why
is
talking
not
is hard to
exactly
come
right
by these
either.
days.
Yeah,
Such is the
I
fate
mean,
of House
they did
Vandes.
have
Or
slaves,
maybe it's
and
just in our blood.
Sounds like
yeah,
there's even more to
they,
your
did,
clan
they were
than the rumors
questionable
say.
too.
Better than there
And
being less, I
remember-
suppose.
They came to Greece with an army.
Yeah, they wanted to make them their bitches, pretty much. In common
I mean,
parlance.
Granted, the army was so the few Grecian city-states that wanted to join up could get rid of their enemies, but it was still kind of a dick move.
Definitely was a dick move. Just dick move after dick move. Like both sides were not
No.
heroic in the least. Persians just wanted a good source of slave labor,
Oh, no.
whereas the Germans.
Persia
Germans-
just
why am I
wanted to
saying
expand
Germans?
their trading sphere and influence, but
That and slave labor too. I mean,
again, that whole maintaining your independence and stuff, that was the carrot. They still used the stick.
yeah.
It was a lot like how the Mongols did things.
I'm gonna save it here, but I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna keep on going for now.
Just fly our flag
All
around
right,
your
it's over.
flag. Pay us a tribute every now and then, and we'll mostly let you keep your autonomy and never bother you. And even kill your enemies when they
Correct.
show up.
We'll pop the gate open.
Don't, and you all die.
All right.
Mhm.
Quickly.
Basically, democracy at the edge of a sword.
It's like once you were in, you were golden. But sometimes they weren't so nice about how you got in. Again, they were a lot nicer about things than the Spartans. And they did prefer to do things more through diplomacy than violence, but
Yeah. They were diplomatic as hell. That's one thing that's true. They were diplomatic. Only their
and again,
diplomacy
they have
came
this
at the end of the
tendency
sword.
of They had this tendency of making deals with some people to get a foothold,
into another nation,
and then,
yeah.
you know, obliging them by destroying their enemies.
Yep. But again, the Spartans killed their own children if there was any indication of what's the word?
Deformity
Yeah.
So, this opens the gate.
or
One side,
weakness.
yes.
Or weakness,
The gate
yeah.
has two giant doors
Weak,
side
they
by
did not
side,
tolerate weakness
with
at all.
matching levers to open each.
Makes sense.
Nope.
Which is why that ogre-looking character was in 300, as a reference to how the Persians did not.
Let's find the other
The
device.
Hunchback.
Yeah, the hunchback, ogre, hunchback, whatever. You know.
Well,
what I
in
mean.
300, they're all monstrous and hideous because it's a Spartan telling the story.
Yeah. Exaggerating a story. Like, majorly. That's just like any other whole fish tale, if you get my, the terminology there.
Let's meet up with the Von Eltia. Back to the docks.
Like them basically saying, this is what we did, and it's like completely different from actual fact.
I can't let you do that. This is my... This is my...
But again, a linchpin of the defense was forcing the Persians to funnel into the pass of Thermopylae.
And after this, I'm going to watch My Hero Academia, because
Which, again, when you consider how the Spartans fight as a unit that cover each other and didn't fight as independent soldiers. They fought as this cohesive unit,
it's, being armored,
which meant, taking them on in a small pass
no
was
weakness.
just horrific.
Very weak to hidden arts, okay. I'm going to set the circle to all hidden arts.
Again, the losses suffered by the Persians trying to get through the pass, instead of forcing their way through the rest of the Grecian army, were legendary. And they didn't take the pass until they killed the rest of the Greek military, until they, beat the rest of the Greek military and surrounded the Spartans.
I mean, as a movie, it was actually pretty awesome, but at the same time, it wasn't very accurate.
What was never meant to be. Again, the point was the inaccuracy.
Yeah, the point was it was Spartan telling it to other Spartans. It was a kind of mind jerk-off.
In the original comic, the only clothes any of them wore were capes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll be a superhero. Role
You
play
think it
there.
got bad with Dr. Manhattan? Hey.
Ugh. Oh yeah, remember the giant dick in wasn't it Switzerland that they had the giant blue dick?
The
Speaking
docks
of
are
Dr.
swarming
Manhattan
with demons.
raping
The Von
Switzerland,
Eltia will be overrun.
they had a little
No
giant blue
comment.
dick.
We don't
They
have
had a
long.
little giant blue dick.
Isaac, can
Made
you signal for them to go
just-
through without stopping?
That'd keep them safe.
With veins and
But what
everything.
about
It
us?
was
We'll jump
scarily
down onto it as it
accurate.
goes past.
You do not remember this?
Is there another option? Isaac, give some kind of sign.
The giant
There's no
blue,
need.
scarily accurate,
The Von
veiny.
Eltia will
No,
sit through.
Tony.
Without an order?
Why'd I
Part of
call
my
you
plan.
Tony?
Welcome to the I-3 way.
No, Chris. I don't remember the thing I saw just yesterday on What the Fuck is Wrong with You.
It's coming at full speed.
Let's get a move on then.
But no, the Persians were kind of actually good guys in that story. They weren't the best, but they were
No,
better
they
than
just
the
weren't
Spartans.
more or less evil than anyone else.
During that time, yeah. Because there weren't really that many great civilizations back then. Not compared to nowadays. I'm talking about altruistic. Not, you know, as in mighty or anything. I'm talking about altruistically. There were no good civilizations back
I
then.
think there are now.
What are you?
Yeah, there are no altruistically true good civilizations right now. As we all got
Well, that's not exactly
problems.
true, but
Well,
you know,
Denmark,
the idea is that
Finland.
altruism don't always.
We got Denmark, Finland, the Swedes.
It's always about point of view. So,
Yeah, true. Because I'm pretty sure to the
except
Republicans
with the
they
Nazis, those guys were just fucking evil. Fuck them.
yeah, Nazis are just fucking evil. Fuck, don't fuck Nazis. We don't
Not-
need more Nazis. Just fuck them in general.
Not all of Germany. There were plenty of Germans that hated the Nazis.
Yeah. Like one thing that really
Or
pisses
didn't
me
like
off.
the Nazis, or you know, were vocally against them. Like,
One thing that pisses me
as
off
I
right now,
believe
though.
Rommel was.
I've been hearing this one story go around and around and around that George Soros was a Nazi youth. And I'm like, no, I don't like George Soros, but I'm not going to make shit up about him. Yes, he was alive during that time. Yes, he lived in Germany, but he was 8 frickin' years old.
You know,
And he actually had to hide. And it was a Catholic that hid him.
you know, I'm a liberal, and I have to say, who the fuck is George Soros? No, really, the
Yeah,
only
really.
time I ever hear anyone talking about George Soros is when I hear freaking InfoWars and
Yeah.
freaking Glenn Beck assholes.
Yeah, George Soros is,
That important to you?
he's the
Keep it
the
safe.
Koch brothers of
You
the
wouldn't wanna
left,
lose it again.
you can put it.
Yeah.
And he also donates to charity. Quite a bit of his fortune goes to charity. Quite a bit of it goes to liberals as well. I mean, Democrats as
Fine.
well.
You read it for me then.
Yeah.
But he doesn't ask favors for that money.
Give me one false reading. and
That's
you're
the
sharp
difference
bait.
between him and the Koch brothers.
Better work hard.
He doesn't ask them to do anything. He just donates money to Democratic campaigns.
What's
Oh,
That's
he
it.
survived Nazi Germany. Or
Yeah, he survived
Nazi
Nazi Germany.
Hungary.
What's the name?
Yeah, he survived Hungary. He was taken in by,
my name?
I think it was Catholics. I believe it was Catholics, and that's why he's a Catholic today.
Well, it's no Magilou.
He's a freaking, I mean, he's a
We're through
Catholic.
the
I mean,
channel. Give us a
that's
course,
normal.
Laffy
Aye, aye, sir. We're headed
Because
straight for
the people who
Locust.
saved him were Catholics.
Ugh.
And now I have access to a boat.
And he's nowhere near as fucking influential or disruptive as freaking
No.
the Koch brothers.
Oh, hell no. He's not even on the same level as them, honestly. They just have him as a left
Now, this is
boogeyman,
refreshing.
basically.
Sailing into port like normal people.
Boy, the sharks are
You've
gonna
all
go
played
hunker
the Scarecrow.
Yes, I'm glad.
He's just,
This
I
won't be
mean,
a
he's
problem.
just,
Docking a pirate ship here?
like I
He's
said, I
a
don't.
straw man.
Yeah, he's a straw man. Yeah, exactly.
Eloise and Vortigern are in ruins.
He's there for
Trade with Northgand will likely be
right-wing
disrupted for quite
people to
some
say,
time.
well, look, you have a multi-billionaire as well donating money to your party. So the Koch brothers
word
can't
of the
be bad at
captain.
all because you have George Soros donating to Democrats. And I'm like, no. He doesn't have strings attached.
The island prison
The Koch
overseen
brothers
by the
have strings
exorcists,
attached.
huh?
He
We'll
doesn't.
have to look into that.
I've never heard of any story saying George Soros asked for this and it happened.
At least any independent story.
Yeah, at least not any independent stories.
Lots of watchful eyes about.
The only time you hear about it is on Alex Jones or
I see.
Limbeck
So they
saying it.
exchange information for
Oh, and did you see Alex Jones literally crying
For mooring?
because
Having the latest
Trump
news gives
bombed
merchants a
Syria?
chance to make favorable trades.
So it's worth protecting the pirate.
Yeah,
I
that
bet
happened.
Arson and his
You mean
crew
exactly as the
connections like
last
this
time
in
he
the
launched a
report.
missile strike
Not
against
even
Syria?
His iron decrees
Yeah,
can
well,
withstand
Where
only
he
this
gave
time.
everyone plenty of warning ahead of time to clear the way for it, and then did it
Yeah,
Don't bother going
Yeah,
to
that's-
Dartunia.
with minimum casualties or damage to the people that we were supposedly trying to attack.
And before I did, I
yeah.
heard something
That
from the prisoners.
that bombing.
They
Yeah,
said Eifried was
that
the
bombing.
only
Because he was
prisoner to ever
faking
come
it
alive.
to placate
Appease the
public
Russians.
indignation, just as he's
Named
doing now.
Yeah, to
Melchior
placate
is an
the
elder
Russians
legate, I
because,
believe.
No, to placate us.
or
Remember-
that too.
He's not placating the Russians.
What the hell?
I'm quite sure the Russians would be fine if he didn't shoot missiles at their people
Headquarters should be in the capital,
helping the
right?
Syrians.
Yes, at the Royal Villa in Logres. I've
Which is
never
why
been there,
the
though.
Trump, which is why
And
Trump,
Velvet.
you know,
Maybe
warns
it's
them in
the main
advance.
capital, right?
Yeah,
Like we're all headed
I
to
know,
the same
yeah.
place.
I
I
won't
mean,
apologize for
does-
You know, what,
involving you.
what should really piss you off is that, you know, the Spetsnaz have murdered American soldiers operating in Syria.
By the way,
Yeah.
there's the little matter of your ship. My men brought
And
her
Trump
through the
hasn't
gate as
done
well.
a damn
We're going
thing
to use
about
her
it.
as a scouting vessel.
Do what you want. We
But
still
why
live
are
in
we
the
attacking
place.
Syria when Syria's
A
the ones
scouting
that
vessel.
were
I've
originally
assigned Benwick to
fighting
her.
alongside
I'll
us
give you the
against
details.
ISIS? Just what?
Well, that's a lot more complicated than that. And
Yeah, no, but
the fact is we never should have gotten involved in the first place. in
yeah,
that
we
kind of
shouldn't
level.
have. Well, anyway, folks, this is getting a little bit too political in here, so I'm just going to end this episode here. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you're interested in future content, please like this video, share it with your friends, and if you really liked it, feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button in order to see future videos. My Twitter and Discord links are in the description. That
Yeah.
being said, have a nice day, and goodbye.
I will say it. Obama fucked up.
And that'll be it.